Hello, how can one determine whether a player is scripting or not? Today I found myself contemplating this, so let's break it down. Here's what a scripter might do: dodge all enemy abilities flawlessly, kite perfectly, know what's happening in the fog of war, or what? Alright, essentially, a player can do all of the above as well, so how do we differentiate them? Let's start with how a person dodges an ability, or more accurately, avoids it, because it all begins before someone uses an ability. Firstly, the person would primarily stay at a significant distance to have time to react and dodge, or be completely out of range. Secondly, they might be blocked by something, like minions, for instance. The next stage, also occurring before the enemy uses their ability, involves the player always attempting to make feint movements from side to side, making it difficult for the opponent to predict where the player is actually moving, thus making it hard to accurately use an ability. Then comes the stage when the opponent uses their ability, their character stops, and the animation of the ability starts. At this moment, the player has a choice: swiftly move in another direction, continue moving if it seems like the opponent is trying to deceive them, or start moving away from the enemy, so when it becomes clear where the ability was used, the player would have more time to react and dodge. From this, it follows that the player will often try to dodge even abilities that wouldn't originally hit them, and sometimes they'll get hit because of it. Now let's compare it to what a script does. It starts controlling movement only when the ability animation begins, instantly calculating where it's aimed. Then there are three possible scenarios. If the ability wouldn't hit anyway, it does nothing, and the champion continues moving in the same direction, not wasting any time. The second scenario, if the ability could hit the player, the script selects the shortest route to dodge the ability and continues moving in the direction the player was previously going, dodging only as far as necessary, and then calmly proceeds alongside the ability, whereas a human would dodge abilities with a considerable margin. The third scenario, if the ability could hit the player but there's no way to dodge it because the ability's speed is too high compared to the champion's movement speed, typically occurring with AoE abilities or when there's a slow or other crowd control. In this case, the script does nothing, as it wouldn't make sense to waste time on it. Well, what about kiting? How about kiting? It consists of several stages: auto-attacking, which in turn consists of other stages, an animation that can be cancelled and consequently no attack will occur, an animation that cannot be cancelled and the attack will be executed, after which the auto-attack animation will continue, but this stage can be interrupted to perform other actions. Ultimately, during the second part of the animation, commands can be given to the champion to move or use abilities, so that as soon as the third stage of the animation begins, it is immediately cancelled. Then comes the auto-attack cooldown, during which movement is possible, and if you try to auto-attack during this time, the champion will immediately stop, regardless of whether the auto-attack is ready or not, and wait for a command or the end of the auto-attack cooldown, with no damage drop. After which, if the auto-attack animation is ready, it begins. Therefore, while kiting, a player may perfectly interrupt the auto-attack animation and start moving, but there will always be a slight delay in starting or stopping auto-attacks, whereas a script can constantly kite perfectly, without any wasted time, and without any damage reduction. Well, let's wrap it up here, without unnecessary mental fatigue, or else the previous information won't stick. Although, if you've made it this far, then you're probably extremely curious and ready to learn, which pleases me. But I think it would be best for you to take some time to consider this information, while also observing how someone who apparently doesn't even attempt to dodge abilities looks, relying entirely on scripts. If you want me to delve into another mechanic of League of Legends, feel free to let me know. Considering that I don't have many subscribers yet, every comment will be read and taken into account. Rate the video however you like. Keep exploring.